Hi, my name is Fazikin.
Hi, my name is Nicole.
Hi, I'm Carmen.
Hi, I'm Cecilia.
We are talking about
The Forbidden City.
In the heart of Beijing lies the most enduring symbol of Chinese imperial power, the Forbidden City, a physical manifestation of the superiority of a Chinese culture and history that extend more than 5,000 years into the past. Everybody will have a question. What is the history background that lies behind the Forbidden City? How's the structural layout? What's the building material that had been used to build the palace? What's ornamentation you can find in the palace? So now, we will bring you on an adventure to explore the Forbidden City.
Hi, I'm here to talk about the history background of the Forbidden City. Aren't you curious on the history behind this mysterious and significant landmark? At the beginning of the 15th century, the third Ming Emperor Yongli created one of the most dazzling architectural masterpieces in the world. The Forbidden City, located in the center of China capital Beijing, displays an extraordinary harmonious balance between buildings and open space within a more or less symmetrical layout. His three architects, Zhu Ha, Yuan An, and Feng Qiao, were given the brief to build an extravagant set of palaces to serve as the emperor's metropolis. Yongli's home became known as Zijingchen. This has the meaning the purple city of the police star where one cannot enter. The literal meaning of China is the country at the center of Middle Kingdom, leading to the idea that the Forbidden City is at the very center of the world. From the start, the Forbidden City was enmeshed in ritualistic and religious concepts. Legend has it that the very structure of the Forbidden City was conceived in a dream by Yongli's tutor, a visionary monk. The monk imagined an extraterrestrial city where the Lord of Heaven resided in a purple enclosure. It is believed to be a constellation formed by 15 heavenly bodies turning round the police star. According to Chinese cosmology, the color purple was a symbol of joy and happiness and also that of the police star. In this way, the emperor established himself as the Son of Heaven, with the mandate to maintain harmony between the human and natural world, balancing the vastness of nature with a uniform modular system of rectangular courtyards and buildings. He and his city became linked to the divine forces of the universe. Therefore, the residence of the emperor was a purple city at the center of the temporal world. Only the emperor could use the color purple, the color of the walls and of the special vermilion ink with which the emperor signed his name. The Forbidden City was constructed in accordance with ancient rules of spatial design, first used during the Han Dynasty in building the city of Chang'an between 200 BC and AD 220. This architectural convention was favorable to Yongl's claim that his city has symbolic importance. He believed that a centralized configuration of buildings would also serve as the reflection of the ordered heavens Xi'an between 206 BC and AD 220. From its completion in 1420 to 1644, when a peasant revolt invaded it, the Forbidden City served as the seat of the Ming Dynasty. The following Qing Dynasty also resided in the Forbidden City. By the end of the 18th century, some 9,000 people were estimated to reside there. After being the home of 24 emperors, 14 of Ming Dynasty and the 10 of the Qing, the Forbidden City ceased being the political center of China in 1912 with the abdication of Puyi, the last emperor of China. He was, however, allowed to live within the walls of the Forbidden City until a coup launched by a local general in 1924 expelled him. Having been the imperial palace for some 5 centuries, it houses numerous rare treasures and curiosities. While in 1947, after they had been moved from one location to another inside mainland China for many years, most recently to be hidden from the China-Japanese in the Sino-Japanese War, Chiang Kai-shek ordered many of the artifacts within the Forbidden City to be moved to Taiwan, where they later formed the core of the National Palace Museum in Taipei.
Hi, today I would like to talk about the structural layout of the Forbidden City. First, rectangular in shape, the Forbidden City is the world's largest complex, 960 meters from the north to the south and 750 meters from the east to the west. It covers 720,000 square meters. Besides that, the Forbidden City is surrounded by 6 meter deep, 52 meter wide moat. Inside the moat, the outer wall is 10 meters and 3,400 meters long. The walls are very thick, which is 8.6 meter wide at the bottom and 6.7 wide at the top. It was specifically designed to withstand attack by the cannons. It has estimated that 2 billion bricks were required for the outer wall alone. Future, for that enemies might try to tunnel into the city, so the paving was many layers, which is 7 layers lengthwise and 8 layers crosswise, totally 15 layers. On the other hand, inside the Forbidden City, there are 5 halls, 17 palaces, and numerous other buildings. The Forbidden City is reported to have 9,999 rooms. But in some account, the Forbidden City might have 9,999.5 rooms. Apparently, housing is nothing more than a staircase. The Great Wall of China has the vital links to the Forbidden City. The Great Wall was constructed with watchtowers all along its structures. It was from these watchtowers that smoke signal could be sent as a way of communicating with the Forbidden City. Besides that, doors in the Forbidden City and the Imperial Gardens were often decorated with 9 rows with 9 balls. It was because the digit 9 in the Chinese society was seen as a very magic and special numbers, especially for emperors, because it is the highest values ordinal numbers. Also, the word 9 in Chinese, Jiu, is the meaning of long. The outer walls in Forbidden City has a gate on each of its 4 sides. At the southern end is the Meridian Gate. To the north is the Gate of Divine Might, which fed Jinshan Park. There are minor gates on the east and west wall. The Forbidden City can be divided into 2 parts, which is the outer court and the inner court. The outer court consists of 5 halls that is used for ceremonies, purpose, and other official business. This including the Magnificence Hall of the Supreme Harmonies. The outer court consists of largest structure and enormous space. The northern sections, the inner court, was where the emperors work and live with his families. The first part of the inner court is a series of 3 halls that is smaller mirrors of the main 3 is in the outer court, and then a grander version of the Axis Hudong style of palace and courtyard that serve as the living quarters. Between the outer court and the inner court, and between the courtyard of inner court, there are many high wall alleys. The visitor can easily feel that they are in a maze. Some alleys are very long. The Forbidden City is the second section of the old imperial city of Beijing, the middle of the largest strip. The first part to the south, there is now Tiananmen Square. It was originally a procession of 3 courtyards and the Grand Gate. To the north of the Forbidden City or inner imperial city is now Jinshan Park. This area including the Jinshan Hill in the center. which will serve as a protection of the lowest wing, feng shui principle, and heat wet profiles. And the higher deck is not so tall as to overpower the Forbidden City or to inconsequential serve as a beautiful visual backdrop. Behind the Jinshan Hill, there are three halls, which is Shouhuan Dian, Yangxing Dian, and Guande Dian. Shouhuan Dian is a hall of imperial solemnities where the portraits of ancestors were housed. Yangxing Dian is a hall of everlasting memories, and Guande Dian is a hall of moral observations, which were used as mourning place as dishes employers during the Qing dynasty. Here, this very last section of the imperial city is effectively the most private sections.
Forbidden City. Here, 12 million bricks were used to complete the city's fortifications. A 2-mile-long wall that was both intimidating and impenetrable. Knowing this, the modelers working on the virtual Forbidden City continue work on their complex. But to finish the city's layout, they still have more questions to answer. While studying city plans showing how the Forbidden City looked when it was first built, the team notices something strange. How, for much of its history, the Forbidden City was the innermost of 3 cities, each with its own walls. Which raises the question, if it was already so well defended, why put so much effort into the Forbidden City's fortifications? According to architectural historian Nancy Steinhardt, the answer could lie in an ancient text known as the Cao Gong Ji.
The Cao Gong Ji includes in it a description of what's called Wangcheng, which we can translate as City of the King. And actually it says walled city. That's precisely what you have in the picture.
Since ancient times, Chinese city planners had incorporated this idea into their design, a clear square or rectangle surrounded by its own walls.
This is a well-defined world of 4 sides and 4 corners where the emperor sits at the center.
In traditional Chinese thought, walls represented stability and order. They were as much symbolic as they were defensive.
Chinese cities have walls. Ideally, the Chinese empire is walled. The Chinese never managed to have a great wall that enclosed them entirely. But in an ideal Chinese universe, the walls of that universe are bounded, and they're measurable, and they have the emperor at the center. That's the ideal configuration that the Forbidden City strove to achieve.
But the importance of the city's walls goes well beyond their symbolic significance. Their orientation, which defined the direction of the entire city, appears to have meaning too.
The Forbidden City is laid out to the cardinal directions north and south, east and west. And the main axis of all of this is the meridian line. It starts south of the Forbidden City and just runs through every gate and every major hall and right out the north end and beyond.
Archaeoastronomer E.C. Krupp believes the reason for this clear north-south orientation can be found in the night sky.
The Chinese found the most important principle of the sky in its daily rotation. Each day, of course, the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. The stars, of course, do the same. And they all turn around a single hub, a motionless hub in the sky that's called the North Celestial Pole.
Orientating the Forbidden City on a north-south axis ensured that anyone standing in front of the city would always see the pole star directly above the emperor's throne, sending a clear message. imperial authority came from above.
Shangdi, the highest power in the universe, was symbolized in the face of heaven, the North Pole of the sky, which holds the sky steady while everything moves around it. And in fact, it governs the very nature of the circumstances on the earth. So the emperor was the authorized representative of the most important power in the cosmos, as seen in the face of heaven, in the face of the North Pole of the sky.
As the design team pushes ahead with its building of the virtual Forbidden City, the importance of history and symbol is becoming increasingly clear. But now the team must go one step further to find a way for visitors to experience the mysteries of the Forbidden City for themselves.
Hey guys, I'm going to talk about the building materials in Forbidden City. Construction of the palace began in 1407. It was completed 14 years later in 1420, and then the capital city was moved from Nanjing to Beijing the next year. It was said that 1 million workers, including 100,000 artisans, were driven into the long-term hard labor. Ancient Chinese people displayed their very considerable skills in building it. Most of the Forbidden City's buildings have yellow tile roofs, red walls, marble balustrades made by different types of building materials such as marble, timber, bricks, and tiles. Another building material used is glazed roof tile. By far the most common roof tiles are the yellow glazed tiles, because golden yellow had long been a symbol of the royal family, and it is a dominant color in the Forbidden City. Decorations in the palace are often yellow too. Even the paving bricks on the floors of the halls are made yellow by a special process. However, there is one exception. Wenyuange, the royal library, has a black roof. The reason is that it was believed black represented water and could extinguish fire. And also, a few houses are covered with green tiles for the princes. One of the building materials used in the Forbidden City is marble. The main buildings of the palace were built on marble terraces. There is a huge inclined slab with carved dragons weighing 300 tons. These were transported on sheets of ice pulled by 2,000 men on horses, and took a month to travel the 50 km journey. Marble balustrades can be found in the Forbidden City too. All palace buildings use timber frame structures. The most important of the timber is the pillars of Namu wood. These logs were transported from southwestern China and took 4 years of the journey. Some 100,000 Namu pillars were used in the construction. The woodwork was covered by a secret formulated paste mixed with pig's blood, flour, and earth for preservation. Bricks and golden bricks are used as building materials in the Forbidden City too. Bricks were used for paving and for the external walls. The bricks of the wall are said to be partly made from white lime and glutinous rice. These incredible materials were said to make the wall extraordinarily strong. It has been estimated that 12 million bricks were required for the outer wall alone. Floor tiles are known as golden bricks, making suzhou. These were made of clay and take 2 months firing in kilns. A floor tile took 2 years to make and can last for centuries. Last but not least, stone is used as the building materials in the Forbidden City too. On the ascents and descents to the raised marble platforms, there are large stone carvings forming ramps flanked by stairs. The emperor would be carrying his sedan over the stone carving and was the only person allowed to pass over it. The largest stone carving lies on the descent from the raised platform of the outer court, heading north towards the inner court behind the Hall of Praise of Harmony. The carvings always involve the dragon, symbol of celestial power, and the emperor. This single stone is 16.75 meters long, 7.07 meters wide, and 1.7 meters thick. It weighs more than 200 tons. Quarried from the Fengshan Mountains west of Beijing, it was heaved to the Forbidden City using logs in summer, and by pouring water along the way in winter till it froze and sliding a huge block along the ice. It was said a well was dug every 50 meters along the road in order to pour water onto the road
in winter to slide huge stones on ice into the city.
Now, I would like to talk about the orientation of the Forbidden City. Firstly, is the roofline ornaments in the Forbidden City. Chinese imperial roof decoration, or roof charms, or roof figure was only allowed on official building of the empire. Chinese roofs are typical of the hip roof type, with small gables. Variant versions are still widespread in Chinese temple and have spread to the rest of East Asia and part of Southeast Asia. Second is Wenzhou, which is located at the west of the palace. Wenzhou zoomorphic roof ornaments that occupy the roof corners of nearly every building in the Forbidden City. What is zoomorphic? Zoomorphic is an animal form. The lead figure is an immortal riding a phoenix, or an official riding a chicken. There are several folkloric explanations of this character, none of them convincing. The back figure is a horned dragon, a qili. In between are the usually odd number of figures, 3 in this case. The more figures, the more important of the building. Below the zoomorph, we can see crisscrossing layers of cylindrical lights that recall the wood and bamboo origins of the Chinese roof. Below that, in the lower left-hand corner, a makara, which is a water dragon who protects the structure against fire. As indicated on the previous photo, the number of Wenzhou, which is zoomorph, indicates the importance of the building. This hall boasts the theoretical maximum of 9, from right to the left: dragon, phoenix, lion, heavenly horse, seahorse, Sunli, Xiayi, Xieji, divine bull, and Xingshi. The roof animals are apotrophic, protecting against evil such as fire, windstorm, and hail. The number of animals is properly counted between the lead and figures. The Hall of Supreme Harmony adds a 10th figure at the end, just in front of the qi. Next is the dragon and cloud relief. Numerous reliefs like this are set into the stairways of the Forbidden City. The emperor will be carried over there in his 9 chair, as the porters mounted the chairs on either side of the relief. The design, which is similar for all of the reliefs, show dragon chasing the flaming pair among mountains and clouds. Besides, when you travel along the Forbidden City, you can see the bronze tortoise and crane. The tortoise in China is a symbol of longevity, appropriately so as the largest species can live for over 150 years. This rather fierce-looking bronze tortoise was used as an incense burner. Fu Lei, which also called as Fu Dogs, which these guardian creatures typically flank the entrance to Chinese palace and other buildings. This one appears to be wearing garments. His paw rests on an orb representing the world. The female member of the pair grabs a puppy or cup, symbolizing protection. There is another ornamentation of rooftop we can find in the Forbidden City, which is Qi. The rooftop of traditional Chinese and Japanese buildings are called at each end of the ridge by a pair, a criteria that give the rooftop a distinctive horn profile when built in silk house. They appeared in China as early as the Tang Dynasty. During the Ming and Qing period, they often take the form of a creature called Qi, as seen here. Traditionally considered to be one of the 9 sons of the dragon, the Qi is a dragon-formed creature with makara-like elements. Its outside head bites the end of the ridge, while its small body digs around behind and above the head. A large floral curve rises from the creature's forehead, and a feathery ornament sticks out from its back. The significance of the back ornament is not really known. Interpretations include a sword helmet or an owl's tail. The motif looks vegetal to me, perhaps a bundle of marsh stalks are curved, in keeping with the watery qi. As you travel around the Forbidden City, you can see a lot of dragon ornaments. What is the dragon ornaments? The Chinese dragon is a creature associated with all bodies and forms of water. It swims in rivers and lakes and plays in the skies during thunderstorms. Thus, it is well suited to protect buildings from lightning strikes, fires, and destructive winds. With this, the Emperor of China usually used the dragon as a symbol of his imperial power and strength.
That's the end of our presentation.
Thanks for paying attention.
We hope you can enjoy our presentations.
Bye.